Hello everyone, welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. So we spent some time leveling this archer. I do want to continue with them a bit, but not now. I think we need to go and do something we've been putting off. We have not been a botanist. So let's go and learn how to pick up some plants. Get some trees so we can learn to be a carpenter too. Wrong place. You're doubtless eager to dive headlong into the nearest shrubbery, but a brief explanation to the origins of the Botanist Guild. I like these origin stories, they're interesting. Our guild boasts a long history. Its roots can be traced back some 500 years to when our nation was still in its infancy. It was around that time that a precursor organization to our own was established to facilitate communion with the elementals. But I suspect you're already confused, not being forest-born. Let me put it in a way your kind would understand. The Twelves Wood doesn't belong to man, but almighty beings known as elementals. It is by their leave that we Gridanians dwell in the forest. It is by their leave that we receive of its bounty. Ever since mankind settled in the Twelves Wood, it's been necessary for us to obtain elementals' permission prior to taking aught from their domain. This was a rather involved process in that only a precious few could actually commune with them, specifically those conjurers blessed with the ability to hear the elementals, known as hearers. In order to relay the elemental's will to the botanists in a more timely manner, a new organization was formed with the hearer as its mouth and ears. This would eventually evolve into the Botanist Guild. To this day, our guild employs the services of a hearer, who offers guidance to our members. This is no longer our organization's sole concern. We also seek to promulgate correct harvesting practices that honor the will of the elementals. And that, my friend, is how the story of how our guild came to be. Report to the guildmaster, as usual. Guildmaster Fufu-cha. I'm Fufu-cha, the master of the guild. Pleased to make your acquaintance. I take it Leonciot has given you an overview of botany already? I suppose I'd better continue where he left off. All Gridanians may rightly claim to share a close relationship with nature, but none is so intimate as that of the botanist. It is our calling to nurture the natural environment to the mutual benefit of man and wood. Even as nature holds us in her loving embrace, providing for our every need, she is at heart an unsentimental creature, one that will take life just as readily as she gives it. Being a botanist means coming face to face with this uncomfortable truth on a regular basis. Do you still wish to walk our path? The look in your eyes bespeaks the passion in your heart. To help you on your way, I present you with this hatchet. Take it up and then present yourself to me again. Alright. New gear set. Botanist. There we go. Oh, let's mess with this first. Get rid of this. Put that there. Oops. Let's grab our mount. Alright. I see you have your hatchet on you. Very good. A botanist's hatchet is his livelihood. Never forget this. If you fail to keep its blade clean and keen, your efforts will yield you naught but sweat and splinters. To help you grasp the basics of botany, gather 10 pots worth of latex. Latex can be found just outside either gate. This, either way, we're right between two. Alright, we'll just go right out here, probably. And we'll start wandering. Finding mature trees. Botanists can use hatchets and their cutting tools to log the forests of Eorzea. Mature trees are only discernible when using triangulate. Once you have arrived, you may begin logging. So right here. Here's the latex we need. We should gather a bunch of, like, everything. Although these things are all purchasable, so maybe we don't need them. Instead, I should just push up to higher levels. We at least want to gather one of everything, just so that we get the bonus. Yep. Oh, one of our items is ready. Just one more tree. Alright, let's go back. We're gonna spend some time, you know, just actually out here getting stuff, but not yet. I want to stick to the quests for now. And we are having some inventory issues. Maybe I should... Here, can I sell to you? No. I'm sure I've got a lot of junk I can deal with. Hello. How goes the gathering effort? I got it all for you. Precisely 10 pots of latex, just as instructed. You've done well. Latex is easy to find and easy to harvest. Collecting the stuff is an ideal task for young botanists. Know that being able to swing said tool does not make you a botanist. You must also possess the knowledge to locate the resources you seek. Another Dalmatica. Standard gear for level 1 quests. As I mentioned before, hacking away at trees does not make you a botanist. You must also strive to deepen your understanding of nature. I say this in the knowledge that you have done just that. You have the air of a woman who is at ease with the world around her. You're ready for the next task. Go to Tree Speak and harvest 10 pots worth of maple sap. And deliver the sap to Sicily. Right there. Okay. But let's find a shop. The Whistling Miller, right ahead. We'll sell some stuff there. Anything that we have in small quantities, we can get rid of probably, and we'll just get it again sometime in the future. What am I doing? Try that again. Having some interface troubles. Sort. I don't need these. Or these. Keep the dye. All these fish I got, I don't really need. Or if I do, I can get them again. Oh, that was white coral. Never mind, I want that. So, like high quality honey, we can get rid of that and just remake it if we need to. Yeah, shops sell this for 2. Why am I carrying it around if shops sell it for 2? Shops sell these for 5, for 10, 10, 7. These things I'll keep because I'll probably need them in large quantities. Like this, just 1 iron ore, get rid of it. Animal sinew we can just buy. Enchanted iron ink. I'm sure I must have made that. Yeah. Don't know why. Lavender. Shops don't sell it. Rubber. From latex. We just know we can get latex for cheap. Sells for 19. What I'm looking at is the shop selling price and the tooltip in the bottom left corner. So if the shop sells quicksilver for 4 pence, for 4 gil, then why am I holding on to it instead of just buying it when I need it? Alright, that gives me a whole tab and a half to fill up with botany stuff. Hopefully that's enough. So go. Where did it tell me to go? Was it Brent Branch or Tree Speak? Tree Speak. So this is a level 10. It doesn't have what we need, but I'll grab these also. Soul bind complete. Kind of boring, I have to admit, the gathering in this game. It's not. I mean, it's as engaging as it is in every other game, but the crafting in this game is so much more engaging than in every other game. So I guess it pales by comparison. Not that I'm complaining too hard. I don't want to be ungrateful or unhappy or whatever. Just don't want to be boring. So, I was having an interesting conversation the other day about diabetes. And it was all about how people are really bad at understanding diabetes. Like if you ask someone what is the actual meaning of it, they think having diabetes is all about having high blood sugar, and having high blood sugar is bad. If you have high blood sugar, then you have a problem. And that is in some way true, but in many other ways the complete wrong way of looking at it. It's kind of like how you can have, well, in comparison, you can have hypertension, which is high blood pressure. If you have high blood pressure, then over time, that high blood pressure, the pressure itself, is going to damage the valves of your heart and eventually lead to heart failure. So the high blood pressure is actually the problem. Compare that to something like coughing up blood. So if you're coughing up blood, it's not that coughing up blood is bad. It's not that the blood is going to eat away at the lining of your throat or whatever, or someday you're going to be coughing up so much blood that you'll choke to death. Rather, coughing up blood is a symptom of an underlying issue that's a problem. So you don't say, oh, we need to stop this person from coughing up blood, and therefore we're going to try to, let some of the blood out of their system so that they don't have so much in their lungs, and then they won't cough it up as much. That's treating the symptom, but it ignores the underlying issue. Having high blood sugar is a lot like having coughing up blood, much more than hypertension. You're not in danger just from having having a certain amount of high blood sugar. That's not the issue. That's looking at it too narrowly. Instead, it's what's the underlying condition, which is a trouble, and people don't really understand the underlying condition that well. So, the way it works is that your body needs energy, right? You need energy to do all the things you need to do. And so that can mean, and the way we get our energy is primarily by, eating it. So when you eat food, you, the basic components you get from eating the food is 1, water, 2, all the sort of minerals and vitamins and all the nutritional needs you have, not, that provide, building blocks for, some of the processes in your body. And the rest of it is all about having, getting calories harvested. In addition to logging, you can use secondary tools to harvest items from patches of foliage, but we don't have one of those yet. You have to have a scythe first. I don't happen to have one, do I? Nope. Well, we'll just keep on like this for a bit. Anyway, so yeah, your body needs energy. You eat it. You eat it by eating things that have caloric content, that have calories. And what that really means is that they either have or they have things that can be turned into these long chains of carbon surrounded by a sort of a halo of oxygen and hydrogen. So anything that kind of fits that structure, a long chain of carbon with a bunch of hydrogen and oxygen around it, is called a sugar. And the most common one that we try to reduce things to is glucose. So the way it works is that when you take glucose and you add oxygen and energy, then the carbon reacts, and the long chain of carbon splits up. It breaks apart. And instead, each of those carbons will grab a couple oxygens and become carbon dioxide. This will leave a bunch of hydrogen and oxygen free, which will grab some energy, take some of that energy and turn into water. So this process is energetic. The bonds between the carbons linking to itself, most of that energy that is released when that bond is broken is taken up again when it forms carbon dioxide and water, but not all of it. In the whole, there's more energy left over. And energy is a simplification, it's an abstraction of chemical processes. If you want to get into whole ATP synthesis and mitochondria and all that, more power to you. I do not. But basically, yeah, your body burns sugar in order to get energy. And you use that energy to, can do all the things you need to do to live. Now, your body doesn't have like a single power plant organ. Your heart is not where all your energy is from. Instead, this process is distributed across your entire body, in every single cell, individually. And the way we make that happen is that we have our circulatory system, which, all the veins and arteries going through our body. And we have our bloodstream, which can convey things to every cell in the body. Or at least all the tissues in the body. And what we convey is we send all these carbon chains, these sugars, to every cell in the body. And we do this by packaging it up. We take a bunch of these glucose things and we tie them all together and we turn them into something called glycogen. And that's what people mean when they say you have high blood sugar. You're measuring the amount of glycogen in your body compared to everything else, or your bloodstream compared to the other materials in it. You also have blood, your red blood cells, that convey the oxygen that's needed. And so every cell in your body gets its own little supply of sugar and oxygen, and then it converts it over into energy as needed. Now, the way the logical fault with this is that if that's alone was how it worked, then you could, in theory, run so fast that you would go brain dead, because all the energy that your body has is being consumed by the muscles in your legs, for example. I shouldn't go that way. That's a bad place to go. But that doesn't happen, of course. And the reason it doesn't happen is because your body regulates this draw of energy from your bloodstream. And you have two methods for how you regulate this energy. And if you immediately jump from hearing that to thinking about type 1 and type 2 diabetes, then good for you, gold star. But yeah, you have two forms of regulation of your bloodstream's energy. One's about dealing with starvation, and one's about dealing with abundance. And both of them work together. So, for example, the one that's all about dealing with abundance is processed, it's handled, it's focused in your pancreas. So, in your pancreas, you have, in a specific part of him, in the islets, you have certain cells called beta cells. And what those beta cells do is they're trying to accomplish a chemical reaction. They're trying over and over again to enact something, to do something. So what they do is they open themselves to your bloodstream, and suck as much energy as they can for a few seconds, and then try to do it. Try to do their chemical reaction. And almost all the time that chemical reaction fails, because there's not enough energy in your bloodstream. It's of low density. But occasionally, there are cookies. If you have a cookie, then suddenly your blood sugar spikes. You have enough energy density that the beta cell, is able to complete its little task of doing this chemical reaction. And the result of that is it releases insulin. Or, well, it prompts your pancreas to release insulin also into your bloodstream. Now, the reason why that works is that all throughout your body, all these cells that are hungry for, all these tissues that are hungry for energy from your bloodstream are kept from taking it. Physically. They physically have a structure in the way of the cells, of the tissues, that prevents them from grabbing at what they need, all they can. It's like how each of the tissues in your body has a bunch of parking spaces next to it, where there's room for the glycogen and the oxygen. And most of the time, each of those parking spaces actually is like a little garage door in front of it closed. Because you don't want your body just to grab as much of this energy as it can. You want it to be regulated. But insulin, when it's added into your bloodstream, it weakens those garage doors. It weakens the cells that are preventing you from just grabbing as much of the energy as you possibly can. So your bloodstream floods with insulin, and suddenly all the tissues in your body say, "Yum! I can have a big bite," and they take a big chunk of your bloodstream, and everyone feasts. And then after a while, the density of energy in your bloodstream of glycogen goes down, because everyone's feasting, and suddenly your beta cells aren't able to complete that chemical, aren't able to complete that anymore, and so they stop releasing insulin, or rather they stop triggering the release of insulin. And then all those garage doors come down again. All the cells that are blocking off the ability of everyone to feast, they harden up and are no longer, and everything, all the tissues in your body go back to normal. That's how you deal with abundance. And people who have a problem with this regulatory system, people that have damaged beta cells, which usually happens from birth, or there's certain chemical poisons that would specifically target those cells. People who have a problem with that don't get that insulin release. And this is referred to as type 1 diabetes. And it's usually congenital. Usually people have it from birth, like I said. Anyway, so the other form of regulation is about starvation. And so, if suddenly you are not eating, say you're used to having a certain number of calories a day, and then you go hungry for a long time. And this is something that happens on a slower timeline. So eating a cookie might cause your blood sugar to spike for 20 minutes, and your pancreas deals with it on that short-term basis. But your second regulatory system is much more long-term focused. If you persistently are in a state of starvation, then your body adapts to that. And it doesn't want to just draw everything down evenly. You don't want your brain to start working at 90%. That's not going to work. But if the muscles in your legs start working at 90%, that's fine. You can deal with that. You're not going to be happy about it, but it's not going to cause you to die. Right? Well, at least not as much as having your brain go dead. So you have to be selective when you're starving of where you draw the energy from. So normally, all those garage doors I mentioned, they're not all closed. Instead, each of the tissues has some of their garage doors open. They're able to suck up energy, a trickle of energy, not all that they want, but enough to keep them alive. And as you enter a starving state, more and more of those will shut selectively, so that you don't, so that non-essential things suddenly begin to starve harder, while maintaining the health of more essential things like your liver, your brain, that kind of thing. All of this is handled in the brain, so your second regulatory system is actually conducted in the brain, and it's always hard to explain exactly how that works, because nobody really understands how electrical impulses can be translated into, causing the garage door to open, the figurative garage door that I mentioned. I'm in the wrong place entirely. I might not be. Maybe there's stuff here. Let's take a look. Anyway, one major issue is that in your brain you have two different types of cells. Most of your cells are neurons. And the issue with your neurons is that while they are the ones that are capable of sending messages and all that, and actually moving the garage doors, the things we're talking about, there are no trees around here. What a shame. They are insensitive to glucose. So they're not able to detect if you're starving, or to detect if you're not starving. And they don't know. They're not able to, the whole thing the beta cells do, where they try to initiate the chemical reaction and fail over and over again, your neurons aren't able to do that, because they can't suck in the energy. It doesn't work that way for them. Instead, there are other cells in the brain called glial cells, and they provide a lot of the structure of the brain, and there's a huge abundance of them in the hypothalamus. So, this has gone on a bit of a tangent. Anyway, but these cells help to regulate the neurons, and in particular, there's a type of cell called astrocytes. Now, astrocytes are actually weird-looking little cells. Like, if you think of a neuron of these neural cells, they're little blobs. The astrocytes are little blobs that have arms. They have these long vines coming out of them, where they reach out and they grab nearby neurons. And what they do is they help to regulate those neurons. They change how they behave. And these astrocytes are able to detect glucose. So that's how your brain, this regulatory system, is able to tell that you are starving. Ah, the maple sap I requested. You must be the new botanist. Ah, but where are my manners? Thank you. Why do I need so much of this stuff? Well, allow me to explain. It's the very least I can do. Boiling maple sap causes it to thicken into a sweet syrup called, you've guessed it, maple syrup. And then we do much stuff with that. Yes. They want me to share my bounty with other classes. Or rather, to be their classes myself. Give me a scythe so I can start getting these other things. Here, let's get this first. You couldn't have come at a more opportune time. I have a favor to ask you. We've just received an urgent request from the Order of the Twin Adder. They need 10 crow feathers. I already have them. Here you go. Ah, the crow feathers, you have my thanks. Doubtless you already know this from Fufu-cha, but it's the Order of the Twin Adder that requested them. I'm part of the Flames, so don't bother me. They are in the midst of preparing for a war against the Ixal. The crow feathers are needed to make arms and armor, feathered harpoons, plumed yew crooks, and the like. The need such a large stockpile of feathers gives me pause to imagine the bloodshed that lies ahead. But there I go again with my wistful ramblings. Feel free to ignore me. And now we get a scythe. Thank you. Head into the wood and find some lush vegetation. Anyway, to finish things up, yeah, where was I? So you have astrocytes in your brain, and the astrocytes are able to detect the glucose, and they tell the neurons the level, whether you're starving or not. Now the issue, and then of course your neurons are able to open up those garage doors by sending electrical signals through your body. They actually move them out of the way in the same way you move your muscles. The issue is that these astrocytes, they don't age well. They have problems. They have issues once you start getting older. They stop working as well. It's because they're so rich in mitochondria. And the mitochondria have to, well, okay. Whenever your cells replicate, they do it a little bit worse than they did the time before. It's because you have these things called telomeres in your cells that tell them how to replicate themselves, and over time the telomeres shorten. Basically, in these astrocytes, they have so many mitochondria that the mitochondria themselves have to replicate more often than the astrocytes themselves. And the mitochondria start developing telomere problems and, well, basically getting tumors or becoming non-functional prior to what am I saying? Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the map I'm looking at. Yeah, so these astrocytes begin to stop working. And when they stop working, your neurons are no longer able to know whether you're starving or not. So very slowly over time, they begin shutting garage doors with the least essential systems first. They slow it to a trickle in order to, make sure that you're preserving enough energy to keep your brain going, your heart going, your liver running, and so you don't die. Unfortunately, because you're not able to communicate that this time of starvation has ended, it just keeps on doing that over and over again. Your regulatory system just keeps on closing things down, which is a real problem because your organs begin starving. They don't get the energy they need until they begin to die. Okay, so, for example, like I said, the muscles in your legs are non-essential. So, over time, they'll start to die, and you might end up with a leg amputated because your brain doesn't know that you're not starving. It's all a communication problem. And it's very much related to aging. Over time, everyone would eventually get type 2 diabetes. But yeah, this problem with astrocytes and with your brain failing to regulate when you're starving, that's called type 2 diabetes. And it's something we all develop over time. Anyway, that's what I know about diabetes. Hope that was slightly more entertaining than this watching me going back and forth between 4 bushes. How long did that go? Oh well. I'm gonna get a bunch of cotton because I know we're gonna need it for our weaving. I need elm also, but I haven't found a tree that gives me elm yet. So yeah, if you have any questions about diabetes, ask them. I'll answer to the best of my knowledge. God, I meant my voice is a little sore after my throat's a little sore after that. Everyone, take a moment to hydrate. Oh, wait a minute. No, I saw a different thing hidden. We hadn't gathered it yet. Too bad. Lavender Seeds. Sorry if I'm being a little quiet. I'm a little, recovering. I think I'm gonna spend, I don't know, maybe another 5 minutes getting cotton, and then I'm gonna go looking for other sites because I do want to find some elm. I feel like we're gonna be able to purchase maple and ash from the shop, but we keep having to purchase elm lumber from the auction house. And I don't want to do that anymore. I want to instead harvest my own. And it seems like several of my trade skills, or my crafting classes, are stuck at the need for copper, not copper, for elm. And of course, weaving was stuck for need of cotton balls. Though we could buy these for 10, so I mean, stuck is relative. You know, and given that thought, let's just go and look for elm now. Elm log. It's in Central Shroud near Bent Branch. Hey, it's around here. We just need to go and find it. Probably just to the south of us. Looks a little grim. Oops. No, there's nothing down here. Must be to the north. To the northwest, maybe? Or no, maybe it's over near the head street on this way. Although I bet we still get cold to the north. We'll look over here. No, there's nothing here. We just keep getting pulled back to that lush vegetation. We need a tree. We probably need a level 15 tree. Wait a minute, can I just see? Okay, yeah, so I can just click on the map and that will show me the exact location. Convenient. Elm log, but let's get some chestnut first. Lots of new things here. I'm thinking I might want to turn off like mount music at some point if I end up having just listen to the first like few seconds of the Chocobo song. Maybe just when we're gathering, because we end up doing these short little hops all the time. Nice. Keep rolling heads. Those doubles. Giving us 60% chance. Eight heads in a row. What are the odds? It's better than coin flip, but you know, it's 60%. It's still pretty low. You wouldn't expect to get 60% 8 times in a row. Small sample size. And there we fell. Failed. Yeah, broke our trend. Trying to decide. I think we'll do Carpenter next. Like, I think we'll actually just spend time after this doing Carpentry. And then maybe... I don't want to start another class right away. We just got Archer. So I think maybe we'll go back and do either our Arcanist or our Marauder. And get them up to like 20-ish. Because I think they're like at 12-ish right now. Do some leaves, perhaps. Clear some quests. We haven't quite knocked them all out yet. We still have 2 classes we have not grabbed that are available to us. We can grab Lancer and we can grab Rogue in Limsa. And in terms of crafting, we still have Cook and we have Carpentry. I think that's it, right? Yeah, we still need Carpentry and Culinary. We could be a sous chef, which basically means you're allowed to chop up vegetables. But both of those were classes I felt it would be better to wait to get until after we're a botanist. It just made sense, you know? Whether we're getting ingredients or we're getting wood. No point in leveling without supply. Probably should have held off on weaving too. But we wanted to get all the classes in Old Da right at the beginning. Okay, we're almost at 100. I'm going to stop at 100 and we'll go back in and do the quest. One more tree. All right. Hopefully, well, I don't. We're finished. We haven't accepted our level 15 quest, so we don't know what that's going to require. But we'll probably have to run back out here again to get whatever they need there, and then we'll make sure we have enough XP to get to level 20, and we'll knock out that quest too. Alright, what are we doing now? You're looking ever more a botanist. I do believe you're ready to take on further responsibilities for the guild. Guilds such as ours exist only by virtue of cooperation of their members. Each individual must set an example for the rest, if the collective is to thrive. The time has come for you to set just such an example. A matter has arisen, the handling of which I would entrust wholly to you. You may deal with it as you see fit, providing you see the problem solved. A valued client of ours, the merchant Albgast, one of our number, has done something to upset him. Seek out the merchant at the empty stalls and inquire why he's angry. Hello? I'm not a man to mince words, so forgive me if I seem blunt. You know what marjoram is? Of course you do. You're a bleeding botanist. It's a very common ingredient in alchemy. Very common. Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't you botanists supposed to be the experts in harvesting the stuff? Strange, then, that the expert who brought me my last batch of fresh marjoram didn't so much harvest as dismember them. The leaves were so torn up I couldn't recognize what they were at first. Thanks to your herb-hacking colleague, I have no marjoram to make my concoctions, which is why I inquired at your guild to be told you were out of supplies. And here we are. Bring me 10 sprigs of fresh marjoram. Unfortunately, I mean, we did... I need 2. Can I just buy some? I mean... We were just there. I should have harvested more. No, I could only buy them in sets of 90. Never mind. We'll go and get some. They're just to the west of Bent Branch. And like I said, let's go ahead and farm a little bit more, just so that we make sure we're going to be level 20. We can take the next quest. Marjoram. There. Oh, I wasn't stealthed. We just walked right by some guys. Scary. Yeah, let's make sure we have like 20 of each, just in case they're needed for something else. Might as well. After all, Elm seeketh embers. Elmbers. I'm pretty sure that's how that goes. Oops. Sorry. Fear the Reaper! Da, 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 da. Now I want to play that again. What was it called? Returnal. There was that one fight in it. It's like it's kind of like how Sekiro. Sekiro is a game where you have this great fight with this giant ape, and it was so good that they actually built an entire game around it so that you can also do other stuff while also getting ready to fight the giant ape. So the fight with the giant ape sells the game. And no, they don't actually do it work that way, but that's kind of how my interpretation of it is. That fight alone is worth playing the rest of the game. In the same way, Returnal is all about Hyperion, the giant organ boss. That's the boss of the fourth world, I think, the fourth biome. And it's all set to the music of Don't Fear the Reaper. It's a variant of Don't Fear the Reaper. La 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 la. Anyway, I'll stop being weird. It's a good game though. I really enjoyed playing Returnal. I wouldn't mind doing it again. And they announced a sequel, so probably before the sequel comes out, we will. Or maybe that wasn't a sequel, maybe it was DLC. They announced something. So Before it comes out, maybe we'll play through it again. Or maybe we'll wait for it to come out and then we'll play it again. It feels like that might be a long way away, though. What am I doing? I can go back now. I'm getting distracted. What level are these trees? Have I gotten these before? They're level 5, but do they have things I have? I have gotten them, yeah. Wait a minute, that's where I'm going. I was getting confused, I was going to East Shroud. Ah! Hell, I might play that game, you know, like, later. I'm suddenly in the mood. Here you go. Have some marjoram. Such fine specimens! I'm sorry I gave you such a hard time, friend. Thanks to you, I can get back to making echo drops. Do you know of echo drops? They're an alchemical concoction that restores voice to silent lips, allowing the imbiber to cast spells again. Conjurers and thaumaturges never leave home without a bottle or 3. I must say again, these are some of the finest specimens I've seen, and they're none the worse for the picking. It's clear you know your way around a plant. As for your colleague with the heavy hand, I'm certain your guild will deal with him appropriately. There you are. Thank you for a job well done. There's no need to report the details. I've already heard all I need to know. It's my belief the botanist in question had not but personal gain in mind when he so hurriedly harvested the marjoram. In his haste to complete the task, he damaged the herbs and rendered them useless. Such greed brings shame on our guild, and I'll not tolerate it. The offender's name shall be struck from our roll. As I taught you when you first came to us, a botanist nurtures the natural environment to the mutual benefit of man and wood. He who thinks only of his own benefit has no respect for nature. You hardly need reminding of this. Something tells me you shall never give me cause to worry. Let us speak of cheerier matters. Did gathering the marjoram pose you any trouble? If you ever find your work unduly onerous, you might consider outfitting yourself with better gear. Next quest. Good morning, Ye. I see from the soil in your hands you have been as diligent as ever in your botany. I'm not surprised. As we develop new skills, so do our labors become more varied, and thus does our motivation grow. Motivation can only take one so far. If you wish to master botany, you must pay heed to those details which you have until now taken for granted. In particular, I speak of gear, the tools of our trade. Not all tools are created equal. If you're to work with any degree of efficiency, you must use gear as befits your ability. Lest you misunderstand, I'm not telling you to go and replace your gear. There is a more frugal way to improve your tools. Is this materia? Yeah, okay. I already know how to do materia. Okay. Gather a quantity of Grade 1 carbonized matter. A thorough search of the area surrounding Aleport would prove useful. In western Lanoskia. That's like way away from here. Okay. Like, we're as far away from western Lanoskia as we can get. $5.99. Oof. Is there a boat that takes us? We're gonna take the airship then. I don't want to pay $600 when I can pay 120. And then we'll warp on from there, and it'll be like 100 or another 200 or something. Hello. Teleport into one bunny girl. Oh my goodness. You sense the presence of a powerful mark. Well, probably not my problem. Oh, wait a minute. Put on stealth first. There you go. There we go. Grade 1 carbonized matter. There it is. That's the powerful mark, probably. Let's see if we can just, you know, jump in. Looks like it's already dead. Too bad. Go away. Alright, back to Botany. Alright, who are we delivering this to? Is it someone around here? No, it's someone back in Gridania. Okay. Well, before we go back, let's see if we can find some other things in this area. Not this way. Let's get too high level. But back down this way. Or even up here. I found that. Ooh, pretty lake. I don't remember how high our miner got, but I think we're about this around this level. So probably we don't have any more gear to jump into. Let's gather like 20 of each of these things like I was doing last time, in case they're needed for a future quest. And then we'll go back to Gridania. We can eat these plums raw. Here. Have a plum. 3% XP for an hour. For an hour, I said. There you go. I remember that game Sakana. That was fun. Harvesting the rice all the time. It felt like it had a lot of depth to it, but I was a little impatient with the game. Something disbound. This something. An extract science. Wow, bad luck. 4 missing. Oh my god. It was a special node too. We rolled tails 4 times in a row. Five times. Almost there. And then we're gonna be done with gathering for a bit. Or we'll see what the next quest is. We might just take it and then not complete it yet. We'll just need to grab some more chamomile. Ooh, with the hatchet. That's gonna give me something nifty. I bet. No, it's a gatherer one at least. Level 1, unfortunately. Oh, we're good. I didn't even realize. Okay. Back to Limsa. Now, where's this ferry gonna take me? Right across the other one? Hmm. We're not going to be high enough level for the level 25 quest, so we don't have to worry about taking it. We have to grind a bit more. We can take a boat back to Limsa from Airport. Ew. Take me... What's Candlekeep Key? Isle of Umbra's there. Candlekeep Key. Gill? I'm just curious where it is. Sure. Ah, okay. Oh, I see. So it's okay. It's just around lower. Okay, it went around the Nos. Excuse me. It went around Limsa Limsa. Here, take me straight to Limsa. I do like the travel system. Whoa. No, I'm not doing PvP. Go away. You look just like me. Here you go. It seems Fufu Cha has high hopes for you. Let us speak of materia. The art of crafting with materia is yet new to Eorzea. It was brought to our shores by a goblin scholar named Mutamix. The process begins with extracting materia from old gear. Yeah, we know how to do the materia. You look like Thancred. You have the same hairstyle as him. Yeah, so all these are upgrades. Alright, I think we're done with Botany for a little bit. For now, at least. Let's go and learn about Carpentry. Since the founding of Gridania, we have built our homes and crafted our weapons from the trees of the Twelve's Wood. As our nation grew and prospered, the woodworker's repertoire expanded to encompass a greater variety of articles, and carpentry developed into an art. At first, there was no association of carpenters. Each individual worked and sold his services independently. The advent of watermills meant that more efficient construction methods were needed, along with formalized maintenance regimes, all of which necessitated organization. The Carpenters Guild was founded to oversee the operation of watermills and promote cooperation between woodworkers. At this point, we owe much and more of our prosperity to the Great Loom Growery. Thanks to the hard-working botanist, we are blessed with the finest lumber in all Eorzea. This confluence of ideal circumstances allow us to provide all manner of goods and services to the people of Gridania. Talk to the Craftmaster. Another green adventurer come to play with saws. I suggest you first speak with the... Oh, you've met Krorg, have you? That's well, but know that the decision to initiate you into the guild rests with me. Tell me a true adventurer, have you a mind to devote yourself to the art of carpentry? Yes. The look on your face bespeaks determination, or mayhap trapped wind. Still, you look strong enough to hold a saw, and if your resolve is indeed genuine, I give you leave to remain, for the time being. You are useless to me in your current state. You are as a seedling, some potential, but no more like to thrive than perish. Experience is what you require, and I'll give you the means to acquire it. Take this saw. It's old, but sharp as needs be. Prove to me you're not completely incompetent, by taking up your new tool. New gear set. Clean up the bars. We only have to do this a couple more times. Well, no, I guess there's a whole bunch of more classes. Never mind. They're just not accessible to us at the moment. Good. You've proven you know how to grip a saw. Do not mistake it for a mere tool. It is a part of you, of your arm. And can you put down part of your arm? No. Mark me then, if you do put it down, and worse, lose the thing, I shall use my own saw to demonstrate to you the pain of losing a limb. But I jest. One-armed carpenters are scarcely half as useful. In any case, merely holding a saw does not make you a carpenter. You must become one with it, and learn to feel with it as you work the wood. To wit, you must first know the wood. Demonstrate your knowledge by bringing me a length of maple lumber. And we do have a few. I have a feeling we're going to need more, so let's just go ahead and buy a bunch. Not you. $60. And just go ahead and craft a ton of them. Oops. Alright. And a few things spirit bonded. Let's get those out of the way. Here you go. Yes, I feel it. The wood tells all. There were no careless cuts. Saw and carpenter moved as one, as if dancing. Do you see this grain, how it flows softly like syrup? Durable, yet pliant. Suitable for weapons and armor both. This child is maple. Trace the grain with your fingertips and memorize the lines. Consider every characteristic when choosing your materials. That is what it means to know the wood. The maple lumber you have brought me is acceptable. You passed the first test. For all it has grown, your knowledge is still lacking. You must needs learn more. A true carpenter knows the qualities and uses of every tree in the forest. Craft 3 maple shields. That's what he's going to ask me to do. You must be the wood. Before you brought me maple lumber to demonstrate your knowledge of wood. This time you'll demonstrate your ability to create with it. Craft me 3 maple shields. Our guild supplier has no shortage of what you require. I apparently already have 2. But we'll make 3 new ones. I have a few rivets. So Smith and armor crafting can both make them. Here you go. You are no workaday carpenter, that much is plain. Well done, child. Your shields are most satisfactory. The pattern of the grain, the lingering scent of maple, your choice of materials is excellent. The construction above criticism. Few carpenters can claim such skill. The Alazan once favored shields of wood. You know this? Today it's not so. They, like your adventurer brethren, are wont to choose the surety of armorer's metal. But a shield of wood provides ample protection for a lower price. It is readily made and readily replaced if broken. and while not quite so sturdy, it may yet serve to spare a man his doom just as readily as any shield of metal. To imbue shield and spear with your strength, to pour your life into the wood that others might preserve their own. This is what it means to be the wood. That responsibility is not to be taken lightly, child. You passed the second test. And now we have an offhand. And we're just a little bit shy of level 10. Let's push ourselves up by crafting some random stuff. Some ash lumber, perhaps. Oops. I see by the wearing of your saw blade that you have not neglected your carpentry since last we spoke. You'll soon be ready for your third and final test. In the meantime, the guild has need of your services. You're familiar with ash wood? But of course you are. Craft me ash lumber. A simple task, right? Then you shouldn't have any trouble crafting me 12 lengths. This is no jest. We used our last a few moments ago. So you see, this assignment is motivated purely by practical concerns. I'd ordinarily handle such a trifling task myself, but I'm feeling unwell. I do believe you would benefit from the practice. I guess we'll need to buy some more ash wood then. That might be sufficient. All right. Such a prodigious quantity. Thank you, child. You've done your guild a great service. Ash lumber is renowned for its unparalleled flexibility. This quality makes it ideal for use in bows and myriad other weapons. By the same token, ash lumber is easily worked and thus ideal for learning the basics of our craft. Such a versatile material is understandably popular, and so we always have need of more. It may also interest you to know ash possesses certain medicinal properties. Tea brewed from its bark eases various complaints. Complaints such as that which I am presently afflicted. Suffice to say, I am pleased to see that your lumber is dusted with a sufficiency of bark fragments. Let us return to the subject of carpentry. You've proven yourself more than capable of working without my guidance. If you wish to market your craft to others, go and do leaves. Alright. What now? We still need to push up 4 more levels. Let's just craft a bunch of random stuff. Or can we get to the next thing, perhaps? No, we don't have access to Elm yet. But we got a bunch of random stuff we can do. How do I have 49 leather? I guess I must have just crafted a bunch of it at one point. Make an ash spinning wheel. I actually could use that, probably. A new longbow? Or a ash shortbow? Now we can make elm lumber. And that will push us up the rest of the way, I'm sure. We'll just set up a whole bunch to quick synthesize all the virtue of our, all that botany we did while we were talking about diabetes. Although this was mostly after we were talking about diabetes. But it is still a tribute to all the botany we did. Finally, a high quality. Almost done. Alright. One of those things was spirit bondable. Oh well. We'll get it when we level our next class. What now, man? Your training as a carpenter is almost complete. I mean, no, it's not. We still have levels and levels yet to go. The plight of one of our guild's newer members demands my attention. The boy's name is Mara Pamera, and he is an adventurer like you, though one of rather less promise. Something troubles the lad, yet he's loath to speak of personal matters with me. Maybe you would fare better. He may be inclined to speak with a fellow adventurer. Mara Pamera. God strike me down for a fool. I'll never be able to finish in time. Please, you must help me. You can make ash shortbows and feathered harpoons, can't you? I went and forgot I'd agreed to craft 2 weapons for the Archers and Lancers Guild for delivery no later than, well, today. But I'm also obligated to complete an order of 100 lengths of oak lumber. The point being I can't possibly do both. Timbermaster Beaton is a veritable terror when his wrath is on him. If I neglect either duty, he surely will not spare me his saw. While I labor over the lumber, can you craft the goods for the guilds? Sure. So we already made the short bow. We need a harpoon. recruit needs a soiled femur. Simple enough. Now some walking around and we'll have this done. And I think we're not gonna we won't push up to 20. Not yet. Kind of the virtue of this is that now we have elm lumber for all the other classes we have that need elm lumber. Though they all support each other, I suppose. Here you go. It's like she acts as if she doesn't even know who I am. Are you talking about me? I mean, is this like a subtle way of saying that I'm not strong enough to draw a longbow and need to have a short bow instead? One of your Mikote recruits, eh? Anyone I know? It's funny that well, never mind. I guess it would be unreasonable to expect them to make separate dialogue just in case you were already part of that guild. This one we're not of, so it's appropriate that it isn't known. You do not seem to be here for training. Here you go. Ah, the feathered harpoon. My thanks for the delivery. Had we not received it in time, I was going to use a fisherman's harpoon instead. You seem surprised. I take it you are not aware that the harpoons we use in battle were born of the humble fisherman's tool. When the Huron fishers migrated inland, they adapted the tools of their trade for use in the hunting of game. The resulting harpoon proved a fearsome weapon indeed. I must say, this harpoon is a particularly impressive piece of craftsmanship. My compliments to the carpenter. And we'll join Lancer at some point, but not today. How kind of you to assist Mara Primera with the orders. The guildmaster spoke highly of your craftsmanship as well. Do not attempt to mislead me. I know full well it was your work. Needless to say, it was necessary to punish the Lalafell. I seem to spend more time sawing apprentices than would of late. I jest, of course. A saw is wasted on an apprentice. The stink of blood lingers, making it hard to focus on work. This I know. I'll admit, I was not ignorant of Mara Primera's situation. In fact, I recognized an opportunity to test your character. You aided your fellow carpenter with no prospect of reward, delivering finely crafted goods when merely serviceable ones would have sufficed, and you claimed no credit. I'm proud of you. There's no doubt in my mind your talent will serve the nation of Gridania well. Just as they will bring about many deaths. This is the responsibility of all who make weapons. A choice between the deaths of our people and the deaths of our enemies is no choice at all. You have passed the third and final test. Congratulations. You have demonstrated your understanding of what it means to know the wood, be the wood, and love the wood. You possess the knowledge, skill, and compassion necessary to master carpentry. By overcoming these trials, you've proven you're no longer a novice. The sapling is well on its way to becoming a tree. You are now a true carpenter of the oak atrium. Know, though, however refined your skills may be, there will always be more to learn. Represent us well on your travels, and return to us often. You'll always be welcome. Alright, I hate to stop, but it's after midnight and I am tired. I have work tomorrow and I have to actually go to work. It sucks. So, I'm going to stop here. Thank you everyone for putting up with this crafting episode. Next time we'll do some more exciting things, I swear. Less diabetes, more, shooting things with probably a cute little carbuncle. But anyway, until next time.